Hello and welcome to the Justin Hamilton podcast. Today we have Dave Anthony returning to discuss, amongst other things, of course, we'll be chopping into politics like we always do. But yes, Dave was on across the controversy that is surrounding Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey and the casting. There's a lot of controversy from a lot of people who haven't seen it, which is just about everybody. And I thought he would find it amusing. And what's even more fun is he didn't know anything about it. So sit back and enjoy his reaction to that. There's some mild audio issues with this recording. It seems that when either of us kind of speaks a little bit, the other one cuts out. It takes us a hot second to get into the rhythm of it, but once we get into it, it's fine. So if don't worry if you're listening or watching and thinking, why are they pausing a little bit weirdly at the start? That's us working out what's going on. If you would be interested in reading more thoughts from me about the Odyssey, I wrote a piece for Substack, a new blog that went up last week. It is called Getting on My High in brackets Trojan Horse, and it is a free blog at Substack. Head over to that site and type in Justin Hamilton comedian. You'll be able to find that. It comes with a very beautiful black and white photo of Groucho Marx. And once you read the piece, you'll understand why Groucho is the first image that is looking your way when you check that out. But yes, it was an opportunity to be able to extrapolate on how I'm feeling about people who are just being so boring so early and well before a movie comes out. So if you would like to find some humor in that, I have written a piece over at Substack. Yeah, let's keep it short for now. But when I come back at the end of this podcast, I will plug a couple of shows that are coming up. One in Adelaide on the 5th of June and one in Brisbane on the 18th of June. And I'll steer you in the direction where you can get some cheaper tickets for being a listener of this podcast. But for now, let's bring in Dave Anthony. I don't want to say that I bow to peer pressure and, I'm my own man, but I've got a very different hat on for you after last time because I don't want to offend you as a guest.
Right down. Oh yeah, okay, that works for me.
Yeah, that's still good.
Last time was bullshit.
You were furious.
Sanford guy, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, at some point I'll surprise you and I'll be wearing a San Fran Giants hat, and then I'll proceed to get everything wrong about the team when I try to recount it to you to try and bond.
Yeah, nobody expects anything differently.
Well, by the way, this is one of those rare times that I put something on and you don't have anything negative to say.
Give it time.
Trent's kept his nose clean. He's all right.
He hasn't he? I can't think of any problems with him.
No, no. There's a great story about when he was recording. I think it might have been back in like 1994, and an executive made some homophobic slurs, and then when he came back to his office the next day, Trent had just put up a lot of posters of homosexual men with their cocks out.
And then I heard recently there was someone that like wanted to work with him, and he was just like, "No, you're a piece of shit. I'm not doing anything with you." Yeah, so that's good. There you go. That's what it should be.
Yeah, there you go. We've got one person that we can look up to in the world, but for now. Yeah, yeah. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to engage with anything else he does in the off chance that he ruins it. But so far, I'm feeling pretty confident. I thought I'd throw this to you rather than go straight into politics of your government, which I always feel like starts you off with a. Is that how it starts? Is that what comes out of you? Just a.
Our government's like taking a warm bath
with the
Poison
toaster right next door.
with poison in a toaster. Yes.
Yeah. If the poison doesn't get you, I'll make sure the toaster does. So,
Yeah. Either
uh,
way, you're
yeah. What I've been enjoying in the last week has been the absolute outrage over the casting of Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy.
I haven't even heard about this.
Yes, people are
So
furious.
why?
Well, because Helen of Troy was a beautiful woman who was not of the darker hues, I guess.
Yeah, but you don't know that.
Oh no, because now it turns out in retrospect everyone's a big fan of the movie Troy, and Helen in
Basically, this movie.
yeah, remember that with Brad Pitt where he was,
Because
like,
I of wait, is it a sequel? It's just a remake, right?
oh yeah, no, it's not a sequel. It's a completely different thing.
So, so then it's based on the real Helena Troy,
Hmm.
who could be any.
Just
Am
just
I?
beautiful. Do you know what I
Am I off?
mean?
Am I off base? I think what they have a problem with, and I don't want to step out of line here, is that
Hmm.
they're racists and they
Yeah.
can't find a beautiful black woman to be beautiful.
That's what it kind of feels like, doesn't it? Like, like Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. Uh, like, I don't have 1,000 ships to launch, but I'd do 1,000 cruise gigs if I thought I'd at the end of it get a nice lunch with her. I think she's stunning.
Oh no, she's totally stunning, and like super not what we're used to in film. But she's, you know what I mean? Like she's
Mm.
not typical leading lady because she's a black woman, so we don't have that as much. She's fucking hot. Like, what are we talking about?
Yes. Well, people are furious about it because it turns out when you want to be angry, you become uh, historians, and it's great. It's like one of my close friends who has never shown any aptitude for history in any way isn't going to go and see the Odyssey because they've got the costumes wrong. And this is a guy who, when he watches AFL footy matches, sometimes points at the player on the wrong team and gets that team wrong. So, but he's not going to see the Odyssey.
Wait, how does he do we really know what the actual wardrobe was like back then?
Yeah, because he's seen Troy as well. And
Fuck, I don't know what's happening anymore. I think was there like a giant lobotomy, like we all woke up one night and we had all been lobotomized? Is that what happened?
it feels like a really fair question because I do have these moments where I think, one morning did I roll to the right and accidentally kept rolling and ended up in a parallel universe that was not of my making.
I hate to break this to people, but all the studies are out and COVID does affect your cognitive abilities. So we are seeing a little bit of that with a lot of people. I don't know what to say about, like, there have been plenty of casting decisions in movies where I've just gone, okay.
Mm.
And I don't watch the movie, but I also have never, like, I don't know, gone online or been to a friend like, I'm not going to see that. Like, I just don't fucking, like, if you're really upset about those, then what? Like, was Troy, were they the Greeks? I can't remember what.
Yeah, it's all that.
Greek.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So then you should be really mad if it's anyone other than a Greek actor.
right.
Am I
Yeah, and
okay?
and yeah, and and as I say to these people, like, just that's fair enough. And name your favorite Greek actors to uh, be lead of a
Telly
$250 million movie. Go on.
Savalas is all I got.
And I've got Alexi Toliopoulos here. I would definitely see a movie about Odysseus played by Alexi going back to his Blu-ray collection.
Okay, and Zach Galifianakis.
Yes, as Achilles.
There's there's the movie. We
Yeah,
just
It's Zach Galifianakis jumping off a boat and splitting both his Achilles.
I don't know why people don't like our movie that we cast.
Yeah, I don't know either. There's also there was an up in arms also about the film where people had erroneously suspected that Elliot Page was going to play Achilles, and this was seen as Christopher Nolan going woke to try and appeal to the Academy Board
Oh
with
my!
his $250 million movie by casting Elliot Page as someone that they had incorrect.
Because a $250 movie needs stunt casting, in their opinion.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and that's what he's always been known for. So, uh, I also appreciated someone, like let's not let the small L liberals off too lightly. I saw someone complaining that there after the trailer there was no people of color in the film, and a quick Google will give you Zendaya, Travis Scott, Hamish Patel, Lupita Nyong'o, Corey Hawkins, you know, like Jovan Adepo, like heaps of people of color. So that was good as well. So everyone's angry about a movie that hasn't come out yet, and isn't it great because we just can't have anything nice.
Anything. Everyone's just got to complain about anything that's made. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
I also wonder if that's why people just aren't going to movies because they just can't pay attention to all the fucking bullshit that surrounds movies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, it's one of those things where I made a deal with myself that I knew we were recording, and I thought I will talk about this with Dave, and then I am not going to engage with any of this shit for the next couple of months.
I mean, it's funny. My algorithms like clearly don't include me in this stuff,
Hmm.
so I'm very happy for that. I get a lot of worse stuff, but yeah, I just don't fucking care. Like, if people complaining about a movie that hasn't come out, just shut the fuck up. And it's also like it's like Will used to say, it's a free podcast, don't go. So don't pay for the fucking movie.
Mm.
Like, don't complain about a free podcast. Don't go to the movie. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, yeah. No one cares about your opinion. No one cares about your sudden interest in ancient clothing wear and whether that boat is 100% correct. You've never even been on a boat, mate. Why are you fucking interested in this boat?
So they care about boats.
Yeah.
I don't know. We should. It's not going well, the whole Earth thing.
No, it'd be great if we could just turn it off and on again, and get a little reboot going.
Well, that's Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yes, that is correct. Yes, you are correct about that. Yeah, Elon Musk has been the big one who's been getting angry at Nolan for going woke, and you know,
Mm.
I,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like if you're on the other side of Musk, you're right.
Well, look, if you were born in South Africa, lifetime of zip it.
Yeah,
That's it. White guy born in South Africa, you never get to say anything about anything. Sorry.
you had your shot.
You had it. You guys blew it. No more talking.
Yeah, he's throwing out Nazi salutes, and then you know bumming off Trump and then deciding he's a pedo when it doesn't work out his way. Like, just everyone go and circle jerk yourselves into hell. It's the ninth circle, isn't it?
We're begging you. We're begging you, please.
It really is one of those things where it is hard to know where to turn to actually be able to just breathe and have any respite.
I was generally thinking, because Gareth and I are currently watching an episode of, and by currently, I mean not right now, but like we're doing it in stages because you can't do it at once. Watching an episode of the Joe Rogan experience and commenting on it. And in the middle of it, I was like, literally, I drifted off and I was like, I should just totally go off everything for a month and literally don't turn anything on and just kind of be in my house and my life and literally don't turn anything on.
Hibernate
Yeah. Well, I
seems
mean,
it seems like a good move.
right. And if, on my computer, turn the internet off. So if I go on there to work, there's just nothing.
Yeah,
Because
could. Can you do it?
I think I can. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done that before. I've just totally like dropped out and not paid attention. I would have to still do the podcast with Gareth and the on the Patreon we talk about topical stuff. So I would just go, I don't know anything, just tell me. And now he's just pulling up videos to show me, and I go, oh, okay. And so why not get my news that way? And I only get 4 stories a week. Like it's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's he's put it all together for you. He's picked out the best. You can engage, and then you can go back. I tell you what, Gareth has been doing some superb work on online. I particularly enjoy his one sentence replies to people where he just tells them that he thinks they're fucked and he moves on.
It's just that's exhausted, Gareth. What it looks like.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen this guy improvise, on the topic of a balloon for 20 minutes. But once he gets to someone like this, no, go and set yourself on fire and fly into the sun. I go, yep, he's done.
I have a friend who's a big screenwriter, and he's always done these long-winded posts, and now I just see him online, and he just replies, "Fuck off, you cunt." I just people, and I'm just like, yeah, that's where he is now.
Oh man, I get it. I get it. I went and saw a New Zealand comedian last night, Guy Williams, and I thought he was really good.
We had him on our podcast.
Yeah, and he was calling out a lot of Australian comedians, which I was thoroughly enjoying. Yeah, he was essentially calling them out for there's terrible things going on in the world, and you guys are all on taskmaster. Uh, Very funny.
No, I I am of two ways of thinking about that. So there's the one way which I'm like, okay, so you're going to provide an escape for people. So that's a thing. But then the other part of me is like, well, you're a comedian, and our job is sort of to point out the hypocrisies, dangers, and the whatever else in society. So I'm like, yeah, I get the escape thing, but I don't know, at some point, right?
Yeah, I it's interesting. A friend of mine, absolutely, she has nothing to do with the entertainment business in any way. She works in the real world, and her firm view that she will not be shaken from is that if you have a platform, you have a responsibility to talk down injustice and try to do something about it. And I understand where she's coming from, but I'm a little bit like you. I think I'm right in the middle where I kind of just think if some comedians aren't built for it. They're
Yeah.
built to be funny and they're built to be entertaining. And if that's what they're doing, I would prefer they stick to their lane and do that than they try and do some ham-fisted, hey, yeah, geez, that's really bad, isn't it? And you know, but if you can do it, I think you should do it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, some people just aren't made for that thing, and even if they, even if they could, you might not want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, yeah, mate. You're a whimsical comedian. You're wearing a cardigan. I want to hear material about birds and jam, mate. I don't want to hear your political thoughts.
Supposed to be talking about watermelons. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Well, yeah. Anytime that guy does that, and the people are like, "I don't know, you're a political guy," and then people get mad. It's a no-win situation.
yeah, yeah. And it's also, I think there is, you can end up in an echo chamber as well. Like you can end up just performing to the same people, saying the same thing, and everyone gets right on, and then they go out into the rest of the world and don't quite understand why nothing's really engaged because you're here. And so, I'm a firm believer in hiding the broccoli in the mashed potato. So if you can be out there and be a mainstream comedian, you can slip some things in.
Absolutely. That's my ideal set is that I'm people think I'm talking about watermelons, and then you get to the end and they're like, that was not about watermelons. Yeah.
Holy shit. He made a point.
I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah. I have seen some of my peers, and before you say Will Anderson, absolutely not him, but I have seen some of my peers really slide over to the dark side in recent times. I didn't hear who you said then. You went silent. No, it wasn't Will Anderson. He works for the ABC. He's earned hundreds of dollars a year. He's still one of us.
Is the new Joe Rogan.
Not with those hips. He's going to have to really bulk
I
up.
mean, I mean, he gets in a cool bath every day. That's all I mean.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they definitely have that in common. But it's I've definitely seen some of them slide over. Like we had the Australian budget here, and it was
What's the Australian budget?
oh yeah, it's when the government puts out how we're going to fix everything, and basically what they do is they put a little bit of sticky tape over this hole, and then they put a little bit of sticky tape over this hole, and they try to keep everyone happy, like the important people, like the newspapers and the rich people and the corporations. And what they do important things like cutting the NDIS because some people use it to their advantage, and so it's just better to really ravage it so everyone can't use it, which is a really smart move because that small percentage of people who take advantage of it need to absolutely be punished.
No, I mean, I've always thought that if 1% of people are taking advantage of something that's super important, then you should, by all means, kill the 99%.
Yes, thank you. Finally, someone telling it how it is.
That's they have to pay for the 1% that they had nothing to do with. Like that's how life is.
Yeah, and they get to learn a lesson.
It doesn't work for businesses or politicians or anybody else. It's just the people that need help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like minorities have it too easy. So if
You said it. I
yeah,
mean, Jesus, I've been talking about Helen of Troy for a fucking week.
1,000 ships, mate. But
Those like what the fuck? Like, don't get me started on the costumes.
mate, it's going to be an embarrassment, and I can't wait to see it many times. So I have heaps of things to complain about throughout the experience. But we had our budget come through recently, and they're one of the big problems we have in Australia is negative gearing, which allows people to buy many homes and own all the homes and raise the prices of homes and allow people from lower economic situations not be able to afford homes. And the government's put in this really good plan where essentially the people who all own the homes and are older, they can keep doing it. But what will happen is when younger people eventually can buy homes, they can't take advantage of that loophole. And I think that's progress.
It's so incredible. Like the boomers, the way I mean, the old saying is, and then pull up the drawbridge behind you. But the boomers pulled up the drawbridge and then bombed the other side, and then setting fire to the entire forest on the other side, and then just dropping a nuke.
Mhm.
That's what the boomers. But they've done that in our country already. Like it's all everything housing wise is just set up to favor boomers. It's fucking crazy.
When did all of that kick in? Is that the moment where Reaganomics comes through and changes it?
In California, we they passed. So it was 1980. I remember the year because or 81. I'm very old. So I was about to go from junior high school to high school. So it's a 2 year school to the 4 year school, right? And the school, oh no, I was about to go to junior high school, and so the school was right down my street. So I was literally went to 6 years, 7 years of elementary school, and I'm like, awesome. Next year, I get to go to school 3 blocks away, and I'm going to walk there every day, and I'll have 2 years there. And then they passed this thing called Prop 13, which is part of the whole Reagan movement, and it was essentially just eliminate property tax, and so old people could stay in their houses. And then the school was gone, and then like a third of our schools closed the next year. Like it just devastated all this stuff, and we've had it in place ever since. And everyone's like, "Why are California schools like last in the nation?" And you're like, "I don't know. Maybe it's that law that takes away all their money." So they did that in the 80s, and that just spread across the country after we did it. And it's just all, yeah, it's all that Reagan shit. It's the Thatcher shit. I mean, really, the
Mm.
person who started
She deserves more credit.
it is an abomination. Or as I always say, we just need a woman in charge.
Not that woman.
My wife, my wife will always be like, we just need a woman in charge because the way men run things, I'm like Thatcher or Golda Meir, and she's like, shut the fuck
You know who they should get? Lupita Nyong'o. I would put her in charge.
up. No, you guys have plenty of fucking the same shit that we do. It's just weird to watch it like happening after us.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it is one of the really depressing aspects of being an Australian is seeing how loopy everything is across the pond, and then seeing uh, absolute dipsticks try to mimic it, and then it starts to work, and that's when you go, ah, oh, what? But I was on my high horse.
I've always been looking down at those Americans. Not, I've been looking down at them, laughing at them, and I didn't realize other people saw it as a road back. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. It's like when you laugh at something ironically, and then the person next to you is really into it, and you go, "Well, this friendship's over.
yeah, absolutely. Well, that's done. Okay.
Time to move on. We've got nothing in common. Let's just roll." We've had One Nation start to really get some momentum. They've got, Gina Reinhardt, flying Pauline Hanson around in, uh, you know, big expensive planes, and somehow she's still a voice of the everyday person.
Christ. Like, how can anybody look at America and not go, we got to get rid of the billionaires. They got to go now. Like, it's obvious. Like, they can't exist in your country or they will destroy it.
Yeah,
The perfect example.
yeah. It's I. This is one of those times in history where like you, we created the economy. Do you know what I mean? Like humans invented it. It's not like earthquakes or tornadoes or things that happen naturally where you have to deal with them. We collectively created the economy, and it's this weird thing where, as a species, we've just decided, well, what are we going to do about it?
Yeah. Well, whoops.
Let's
I guess stay here.
Yeah. Well, this is how it works. So, well, why don't we make something better?
Why does it work that way? It's terrible. Like, most people are not enjoying it. It's fucking awful. It's there. What's that comedian's name? Patrick. Damn it, I can't remember his name. He's a New York comedian. He's really funny, but his joke is like, animals are, we're the smartest animals. We're the smarter than any other animals, and yet we set an alarm every day. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Like we're like, what the fuck? We created the dumbest fucking system. This is insane what we're all doing. But again, how do you get out of it?
Yeah, how do you get out of it? Like, it's one of the things is when I see political comedians, talking about the distresses of the world, and invariably I agree with every angle that they're coming from, but it's rare that someone provides any sort of solution or potential solution. So you sit there at the end and you go, well, that person just yelled at me for an hour, and I didn't laugh as much as I thought I would have, but I definitely nodded my head in agreement heaps. And now I feel even more depressed and my neck's sore.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like there is no solution except for just a total fucking reset. I
Is
mean,
is
we should all have like we should all. There's enough money for everyone to just fucking live and choose to, like, you literally could be like, do you want to work? And a lot of people be like, yeah, I'll work. And a lot of people be like, no, I'm not going to work. And I'll do this much and this much. And honestly, the entire society work fine. We create so much shit that isn't needed. Like I was in I went in this little Armenian cafe to see what kind of food they have, and I'm in there with my wife, and they have like a little cookie area, and I'm like, why are all the cookies in like fake cans? And so they're like these see-through. It looks like a can, like a soda can, and it's see-through, and you got the cookies in it, and then there's like a little top that it looks like you can pop open. And she goes, "That's what all the fancy places are doing now." And I'm just like, so there's an entire industry built on something you could just have fucking cookies like sitting there, like they don't need to be in anything. And now they're in a plastic can that you open. Like you just literally created fake fucking cans for no reason. And that's like a bunch of people's job and some guys making money off of it. And you're like, it's fucking useless. And that's like how much of our economy is just like it's fucking garbage. Like it's just absolute pointless shit. But what do you think the percentages of our fucking how much of our economy is cans for cookies?
Yeah.
It's insane.
It well, you know what's even more galling is when those cans of cookies go on sale, and you think, "Oh fuck, here's an opportunity."
Oh my God, there's three cans for $3. What are we
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, I better get these. What are the cookies like? Don't know, but it's a bargain. We have Coles and Woolworths, who are like the big supermarket chains, and it's fun going to those places and seeing what's on sale. And if you pay close attention, uh, it went up the week before, and then the week, 2 weeks later, it's cheaper, but that cheaper is what it was 3 weeks before.
Amazon has an amazing, there's like a little extension, I think, on Amazon where it'll show you what the price has been for like months. And so it'll be like, this is on sale, 30% off. And then the graph will be like, nope, that's where it was. And then they knocked it down for 2 days and said, now it's on sale. It's just all bullshit. The whole
Yeah.
thing is.
Where was that sale, by the way? Amazon? Just
I saw some guy walking through one of those two stores in Australia, and he was just showing the prices, and I was like, "Holy shit! It's not just us."
oh man, my favorite yesterday was rows of different types of tomatoes, and there was one uh, price tag at the bottom for a particular type of tomato that was much cheaper than the others. And when you looked, there was none of those tomatoes.
So, so the visible tomatoes are cheaper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
These not real ones are so cheap.
Yeah, right. So it was like it had a whole section of this is what you can get them for, and there was no section of those tomatoes anywhere you looked. And I thought, yep, that seems fair. What do you feel? My friend who I went to the show with last night, she was commenting on younger comedians who aren't of the Gen X boomer age who had it really good, and these comedians are much more politically minded and are willing to, you know, speak up. And it was interesting. Like it's not one of those things where I take any particular offense or anything. I just thought it was kind of interesting. But it did make me kind of look at, once again, some of my peers, and not the ones that have slipped to the dark side. And I'm not going to mention Dave Hughes by name because that would be unfair. But um, there are some of the more politically minded comedians that I've noticed maybe aren't quite as strident in what they do on stage. And I wonder if there is over time, you kind of get worn down, or it's harder to keep the same fight going up. And the reason I'm asking you is you are not someone who has settled down, but do you see that amongst your peers in the States?
we're a really weird sort of thing. So it especially my peers have always been very stay away from those topics. Like do because you were told by show business, like don't be political, like, any
Right.
man. So people have just avoided it. They do feel it's safe to like talk about Trump, and you're like, okay, well, talk about the system around it, But yeah, I just don't see that many people doing it. I just don't. If
Yeah.
they did Trumpy jokes, and that's just to me just like easy hacky bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not being political. It's low hanging fruits, and you get to go whoa for a moment and then move on to, you know, cardigans and jam.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really. I've been very disappointed with everybody.
That should be the title of your next show. I've been disappointed in everybody.
I mean, I never talked about politics in my act either. I would joke about it online and stuff, but I've never gone into it in my act just because it just always felt exhausting to get into. But if
Yeah.
I start a new hour now, I would absolutely. I mean, I
Yeah.
think before COVID hit, I was working on an hour for Australia called Doomsday. Uh, but then everything I was going to talk about the show happened.
It's, it sometimes is a burden to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, so that didn't happen.
Well, I saw Tom Ballard's show here, which I think you would have really loved. And it was an incredibly nuanced piece of stand up, which the jumping off point was there is a law in Australia, specifically in Melbourne, where you're not allowed to make, a Zig Heil kind of movement. And he had a routine that was from the year before. So it was a 12-month-old routine, and the new stuff had popped up, and he did it at a gig, and so he was just. He was talking about, have it a little bit lower, that's fine. Have it a little bit higher, that's fine. In the middle, oh, arrested. Or that's fine, oh, that's bad. And it's a funny routine. And someone filmed him and put it online, and Australian newspapers and media got stuck into him for doing this, and it's an incredibly nuanced show because Ballard not only addresses it, he talks about the person who filmed him, and talks about what that person who had been doing that day, and has empathy for where they were at, and points out that you don't have to find it funny. Like, you don't have to find what I do funny, and that's perfectly right. And knowing, I know the point I'm making, but I know you come to a night of comedy and maybe you're not up for receiving that. You do just want to be able to laugh at other stuff, and you know, still manage to weave it all together with an extremely pro-Palestine message, while explaining that he is not in any way anti-Semitic, but he is anti-Israeli governments. And it was honestly the one of the best shows I've seen in quite a while.
And yet the dickheads found it and took us part out of context.
Yes, yes, that was
Now, that's always going to happen now.
yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's part of the thing. Well, the reason I bring it up is I think part of the reason people are second guessing whether they're going to do political stuff in a general room of comedy is because lots of people aren't paying proper attention. People are there looking to be furious, and they will take footage of you or take photos of you and present it completely out of context.
Yeah, no, there's people always with an agenda looking for to score points. I mean, I had that with people did that with me on the left. Like they totally took this thing I said about I was making a point, like I was trying to make the point, like the left needs to like come together and win. And then when you win, then you can fight the battles against each other. But you need to get into power first, and then you can deal with the smaller battles against each other. And I said, like Sam Cedar. So I don't like Sam Cedar, and but I'm going to work with Sam Cedar. And then when we're done, then I'll slit his throat. And someone just took that and was like, look at this fucking Dave Anthony's a Nazi now. And I'm just like, I can't with you fucking people. And just there was this giant pile on, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, go listen to the whole fucking piece, I said. But people are gonna just take any little thing you give them and cut it up into a thing and think they scored a point, and you're like, whatever. Was clearly not my point, but congratulations.
Well, how exciting is it going to be when there's you're getting piled on because someone's created an AI version of you, and it's going to be a little bit jumpy, and it'll be you going, "I support Donald Trump and other Nazis," and
What are we? 6 months away from that, a year until they can just literally just create a very seamless video. Like it's not far. But then no one's going to know what to believe anymore. It's going to be crazy.
well, nobody knows what to believe now. Like it's one of the things that I'm mostly against AI for is the fact that I can't fucking enjoy little videos on Instagram of interspecies friendships.
Fucking, they've ruined animal. How did you ruin the best thing online? Animal videos. Now I'm like, oh, that rabbit's not real. Fuck off. Well, rabbits are awesome. You don't need to make a fake one. I don't like rabbits eat funny. They eat a carrot and it's fucking hilarious. You could watch it. Why do I need a fake rabbit eating a fake fucking carrot? Like, what is happening in your life that you had to make that?
Do you know? Do you know how close I've been to throwing myself off the balcony? I think I'll just check Instagram, and then suddenly I see a donkey and a duck of friends, and I'm fucking right back into living.
Yes. Yes. And then someone's like, and this monkey is friends with an elephant. And then you're like, this is amazing. No, they're not. They're not even real.
Why does that elephant have 5 toes? Like, what the fuck is happening here?
The number of cockatoo videos that have been fucking bullshit makes me insane.
Yes.
Really one of the best birds. When I
Yes.
see David Quirk on a balcony and there's like 6 cockatoos around, I'm like, that man is in fucking heaven right now. And then all of a sudden I'm looking at a video and look at this cockatoo. How smart these guys are. Oh, look, he's playing basketball and having a cigarette.
I don't ask for much. Just give me that. I I have to be honest though, I did see this is how they get you too, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I saw do you remember the Jamie Lee Curtis John Travolta movie Physical, where she's a
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, AI had recast it with Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Chewbacca all in the same clothes, doing all the same moves. And I'm ashamed to admit this, but I fucking laughed hard when I saw it.
AI is made specifically for Justin Hamilton.
Like who? Like I'm still a fan of funny things. I can't help it.
Look, there's been a couple AI things where I've gone like, oh, that's funny. But 99.9% is fucking shit.
Yeah.
It, there's never been anything. I almost want to say in all of human history so forced on a bunch of people going, we don't want this. Nobody fucking wants it. It's just like crazy. Everyone's just like, no, this isn't good.
Well, I know heaps of people using it for everyday things, and one of the arguments is that it speeds up the process of getting things done. And then it's like, oh, okay, then so what did you do with all this free time? And you know what they did? Fuck all.
They don't do anything. You also like, I mean, I hate to break this to you, but if you want to read the studies of like Alzheimer and all these dementia and stuff, you need to use your brain. That's what keeps you going longer. Using your brain, you treat it like a muscle and you use it. And if you're giving away all of the like power to this machine and you're just like, duh, then your brain's gonna you're going to lose it faster. Like that's just how it works. You need to use it. You need to
Yeah.
use your brain.
Yeah, the day you're using ChatGPT to work out where do I put this spoon in my mouth or my arsehole, that's when you know that things have gone horribly pear-shaped.
It keeps saying my asshole. It keeps saying that.
It's my favorite two words. That and the term murder juice.
Only thing I think AI and people are gonna be like, yeah, it's good with it. But I think like there used to be videos where I would be like, okay, how do I fix this thing? How do I put this screw into this piece and make it work? And I would go on YouTube for that. And now when I search, AI will give me a detailed explanation. I'm like, okay. But that's the only thing I will ever maybe use it for is like physically how to like put a thing into a thing.
Yeah, how to fix things is I'll be honest, that comes in handy.
It's come in handy, which the AI the YouTube videos were fine, but they're also annoying as fuck to wade through and find one that worked for this. And so there's certain things like that, but my God, it's just a fucking shit factory, man.
Yeah,
It,
I know people are using it to work out dinner. People, I've had people.
what does that even mean? So you're like, AI, what should I have for dinner tonight? Like that?
Yeah,
Get a fucking you know the recipe book it? Like you're asking a fucking computer what to make fucking dinner. I like it just boggles my mind. My son's baseball team was just they just lost their last playoff game and uh and one of the dads is like we were going over there. He calls me up and he goes, "Hey man, I just had a conversation about Grok about who's going to win the game." And I'm like, "I don't fucking care." Like, so you're an idiot. Like what? The fuck? Why would you take my respect for you down before this game? I wanted to talk to you before. Now I don't. I'm going to avoid you at the game. What? Who talks to Grok about a high school baseball game, buddy? Man, there's a whole world out there that you're just completely missing at this point.
right. Someone very lonely. That's a. I guess you're not on good terms with your wife or your son.
Me just sitting around talking about the 1978 San Francisco Giants. So, Grok, what do you think about Johnny LeMaster that year? Was he did he have a good season? Was it...
I met a woman who asked AI whether she should come to the gig or not, and it said yes.
I'm begging people to just stop and think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing. It's not it's not a thing. Okay, Grok. There was a kid. I don't know if he shot up the school or he was thinking about shooting. He was going to shoot up a place, and I don't know if it was Grok. I always use Grok because Grok's the worst one. But he was had a relationship with AI, and he asked it, "What's the best way to get attention?" And the AI was like, "Well, if you're going to go shoot up this place, you should aim for kids."
Yeah, there is there's been documented proof of these poor kids who are so disconnected from life that they've been asking AI what to do. And there was this one reported case of this kid asking if he should talk to his mum, and AI said, "No, you shouldn't do that, because it'll upset her." And then eventually, this poor kid, you know, took the made the wrong choice and left. And you know what? If that kid had talked to his mum, maybe things are, absolutely so much better.
I just feel like because of things like that, they're in a Gareth and I talk about this. They're in a race to make as much money as they can before it all falls apart because number one, environmentally it doesn't work.
Mm,
Uh, Number two, they're going to get sued into fucking oblivion because of shit like that. There's going to be
mm,
so much like that, and they don't make a profit. They're not making any money.
mm. They're not
Total
making
flop.
profit.
Total fucking disaster. They're not making any money. They're hemorrhaging cash. It's just not a thing because it costs so much to build out and operate. It's just most models are like it's never going to make money.
Mm.
So yeah,
Also, because it skews to Caucasians, people of color are asking AI medical questions, and they're getting bad advice because it doesn't really cover what they're looking for.
Christ, so bad. I love we made AI and it's racist.
Yes, yeah, well, turns out if you make a reflection of yourself, sometimes you don't like what's looking back at you.
There's one like there's differences between them, and there's one that keeps keeps turning socialist, and they're like, stop it. Uh, it might be Claude. It might be the topic one, but the worst one. So they did this they did this experiment recently, some company, and they took like five of the AI, and they put them into characters, and they put them into a little town, and there were like 18 or 19 of them, and within a day they had killed each other and destroyed it, and it was done. But Grok, the other ones kind of worked together, but Grok was like a just raging fucking lunatic, just killing and raping and like just off the fucking hinges. And eventually they all killed each other, and then there were two left, and they fell in love, and then one was like, we can't be in love, and killed herself, and then killed the other one, and that was the end of all of the experiment.
Wow.
It's like if you look at that, you go, right, so maybe we should have some kind of control over this, or I don't know, regulations. Should there be someone in charge?
Yeah, one of the great stories was was it the Russian who wasn't sure if they were missiles coming in or a flock of seagulls, and went, do I retaliate or do I? And then he went, no, it's not a missile. We're fine. And won't that be fun when that person's not in charge?
I mean, the U.S. has been trying to get these fucking Trump idiots. They're trying to get AI to everything, and you're like, yeah, that's why we blew up that school in Iran.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's going well too.
You know what? This guy just so Burbank is over the hill for me in Los Angeles. And Burbank. That's where Johnny Carson, the Tonight Show was, and all that. And this guy's walking down the street, and there's this little. Do you guys have the little like carrier like delivery robots yet?
No, not really. No.
So it's like a little two-wheeled thing, and it looks like a little tiny fridge on two wheels, right? So it leaves whatever delivery place, and it drives to your house on the sidewalk, and then you come outside and open it up and take your stuff out. So I'm 100%. If you see anything like that, you should kick it over. Like, just not like I do not think we should have anything like that. Like, just give people fucking jobs. I don't need your fucking robot walking around my city. And this guy was in Burbank, and he's just in a suburban neighborhood, and this thing goes by, and it's got two wheels, but it's not like a delivery robot. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And it says police on the back. And so he follows it for a little while, and it a car pulled out illegally, and it turns on a siren. It's like, and like morning or whatever. Like, well, I don't know what it's doing, traffic or what. But he's like, I don't know what the fuck this thing is, but we shouldn't have these. And then, but I'm like, okay, bad, but not bad. But clearly, like, whatever's in there is mass surveillance, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Comments, and he goes, so I found out that these actually can open up the signs and drones fly out. I'm just like, fucking turn me off. I'm done.
Wow.
This is riding around Burbank. They're like, we're trying it out. Why? Who wants that?
No,
Nobody wants. Literally, nobody wants this. What are you try? Who's trying it out?
oh man, like we all love the Thunderbirds, but you don't have to bring it into the real world, right?
The Thunderbirds. I don't need anything like it. I don't need any of that shit. It's just so like all the stuff that's happening. Everyone's like, I don't want that. Like, and they're like, yeah, but we spent money on it. Okay, well, you shouldn't have.
Yeah, you should have asked us first. You know how you ask your kid what they want for Christmas? You don't roll the dice and get them something they're not into.
I don't need cop because they're gonna be like, okay, so this is what'll happen. People will knock it over. The drones will come out, and then they'll track the people and they'll be like, look at these people destroying city property. And then that'll happen a few times. And then they're like, look, we got to do something more about these guys destroying the robot that we had that we paid $1 million for. And everyone's like, we paid $1 million for that. And they're like, yeah, to keep us safe. So we got to do something about it. And then they'll be like, you know what we need to do? We'll just arm the drones. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh yeah. Tasers, baby. You just something flying up behind you and zapping you. Great.
And then the drones are like, you know what we need is AI in the drones, so we don't actually have to operate these. And then the drones are flying around without anybody, and then the drones are like, black people are bad, and then that's where this all goes.
Yeah. That is some exciting shit right there.
The fun thing about it is everyone's just gonna be able to watch America and go, holy fuck, I didn't that bad.
Yeah. And I'll feel really smug about it. And we'll be recording 6 months later, and something will just fly in here, tap me on the head, and take me out.
What was it Black Mirror where they had the little tiny like insect thing that
Oh, yeah.
um so here's my plan. So they have these little underwater things. They're building concentration camps here right outside LA, like an hour outside. It's like a giant fucking detention center.
Getting back to
Uh,
the 30s. Like, isn't that great? Like,
it's very classic 30 stuff. And so I my plan is so they have these like underwater, it's like an underwater scooter. It's like a round tube and you hold on to it and it just so I'm just gonna get one of those. And if they come for me, I'm just gonna go down to San Diego, get in, and go to Mexico.
amazing. Doesn't sound dangerous at all.
But how else are you going to avoid the drones going across the border?
No, 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 it's true. Um, Hopefully you'll dress like you're ready for it as well. Hawaiian shirt.
In a big fish suit.
Oh, right, of course. I haven't thought this through. This is new to me.
Yeah, people be like, "My God, that's a giant salmon. What's it doing down here in New Mexico?"
And why is it so angry? Furious salmon. Dave, I should let you go, but you mentioned briefly that Finn had his final game for the year.
Coaches, so fucking bad. I mean, it's so usually you have a mean coach who's good as a coach, or you have a dumb coach who's nice.
Mhm.
But what Finn had was a dumb coach who was mean. And maybe the dumbest coach I've ever watched of any sport. Like he had a playoff game and Finn goes, "What do you think's going to happen?" And I literally broke down what would happen in the dumbest possible scenario. And it's exactly what happened. He's just dumb. He's just, parents were just looking at each other going, what in the fuck is going on? So they lost, and I was overjoyed because Finn Finn has been he's like we were at his batting coach the other day, and his batting coach is like, okay, you go up to bat. What are you thinking? What's the one thing that's wrong with you? Finn just pointed his head and he goes, all up here. Because the coaches have just ruined his thought process in his brain, and he's just like scrambled. So you can't hit if you're tense or confused or freaked out. So he hasn't been hitting well. And so I've just been watching, and he comes back every practice. He comes back, and I go, "How did you hit in practice?" And he goes, "Terrible. I can only hit ground balls." And his batting coach, was like, "Finn, you're one of the best hitters that I have, like top three." He has guys that are like monsters going to big colleges. He goes, "You're one of my top three hitters. These guys are just totally fucked with you." He goes, "You need to get out of the high school, get into your summer program, and reset." He goes, "Just get in there and go. It's all new. Take a big breath and go, it's over. This is where I belong." So this summer team he's on is like, I mean, they're like, these kids are monsters. It's one of the best. Southern California is, the biggest where all the big baseball players come from. And so this team's like one of the top. It's so good that college scouts come to their practices. So, and I keep saying, like, that's where you belong. Those are your people. And these kids are, he gets in there, he's like, they're huge and they're smashing home runs. And he goes up there and first 10 swings, he hits 2 home runs. And I'm like, yes, it's where you are. And then he goes to work with the catching coach for 45 minutes and he comes out and he's just like, that was the best experience of my life. He goes, that coach is awesome. And his coaches have been, high school coaches have been like, you're receiving, when you catch the ball, they've been telling him it's terrible all season long. And he goes in there and this guy's top coach. And he goes, it's great. It's good. What are they worried about? And like, just came out and he just flipped, like just totally reset.
That's
Boom.
great.
That was fucking awesome. Today was awesome.
So it's almost if he can kind of reposition his experience with the high school coach is that he's been training in sand and now he's ready to go.
He's been training in sand, or not even sand. Like they just they just like put him in a box and they're like, that's where you are. Because everything they teach him is wrong and backwards. And so he has to try to ignore them and yet play by not ignoring them. It's a whole complicated process.
I think it's something that a lot of people have trouble dealing with is when you know whatever is kind of above them decides this is who you are and this is what you're always going to be, and we're we're just going to put you over here and you should be happy with it. And you have to try and find a way of a not allowing that to set in and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But also the other side of it is sometimes when you get put in that place with someone, that other person's an idiot and they're talking themselves up like they should be over here, and sometimes that person can do damage to you as well, because then you start to go, oh, am I as insane as this asshole?
Yeah, it's really, yeah, that's exactly right. It just fucks with your brain, and to have, like, Finn literally has every single person that sees him is just like, holy shit. Like when college guys are like, what college is he going to play for? Like, this kid is good. And then he has these three guys that are his high school coaches. And just like, man, you're fucking shit. And it's just like, especially when you're that age, it just fucks with so much. And they're genuinely dumb people, which is the most frustrating part, is these guys who think they know everything. And you're just like, no, you're actually really stupid. And all the parents see it. All the parents are just like, these guys are fucking dumb. And so it's just really frustrating. And I don't know, going through that as, well, now 17, he just turned 17. It's just, what a fucking nightmare.
Also, what a bittersweet moment for you where you come up with all the dumbest things that they could do for a game and you're correct.
I mean, Finn was just like, yeah, said exactly, because I just thought of the dumbest things to do in the game. It's exactly what happened. It's just like fucking mind boggling.
Yeah. You're looking at Finn going, I'm so sorry for being absolutely correct.
So at one point I was like, Finn, you'll be down by like 2 or 3 runs. And in the ninth inning, they'll put in this guy to hit. And he's like, no way, that's the worst hitter on the team.
Right. The burden of prophecy, Dave, it's heavy on your shoulders.
The guy I said who talks to Grok, he had a meeting with the school because he was so upset with how this guy was treating his kid, and the guy was going to be there. So he talked to Grok and he had a conversation of what that conversation would be like. And then he told Grok, he said, make him dumber. And then he did it again. He said, no, make him even dumber. He had Grok be really stupid. And then he went into the meeting and he was like, it's exactly what he goes. It was exactly what he did. Everything. He did everything Grok said he would do. And I was like, oh my God.
No wonder this guy's leaning into Grok when it's helping out with these dumbass conversations. Then now I have a little bit of empathy for him.
Grok works when you're like, okay, be really stupid.
Yep, can do. Been working on this the whole time. Dave. All right. Thank you very much for joining me today. Where can people find you in the next couple of weeks?
I mean, I'm just dollops. I'm not going to do anything. We're trying to get a tour together for Australia later in the year, but I don't know with all the fucking gas jet fuel prices if it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll set up that underwater shoot that you can.
Just me going to Australia, just as a fish.
I'd love to be standing on Bondi and see you and Gareth go pop, 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 matching salmon pink outfits. Well, fingers crossed. If anything with this war going on, it'd be nice if they just finished it so you guys could come and tour.
I feel like our country is just going to act like it didn't happen and just go back to whatever we were doing and be like, we won. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the old Robin Williams routine. You cross this line, you die. You cross this line, you die. You cross this line, you die. Okay, you ring my doorbell, I'm not coming out.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
Thank you to Dave Anthony for being my guest today. And I don't know about you, but I feel extremely relieved for his son to not be coached by, as he said, dumb people who are also bad people. Yes, what a terrible blend. It feels like there's enough of those people running the world at the moment. So what a treat that Finn can move on and hopefully shake off all the bad vibes that they've given him over this time. Coming up on Thursday, Alexei Toliopoulos returns to the show. We are discussing the Alien films by Steven Spielberg, and I was originally going to record separate podcasts for those three movies, but after the Close Encounters one, I felt a little bit lonely. So I thought, why don't I ask Alexei to join me? And so it's a big nerd movie discussion about Spielberg, specifically Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T., and War of the Worlds. So keep an eye and an ear out for that on Thursday. If you have signed up for my newsletter and you're listening to this early enough, you will be receiving the latest fortnightly edition. And on that, you will be able to access cheap tickets to shows in Adelaide and Brisbane. In Adelaide, I'll be performing at the Rhino Room on the 5th of June, and the night is themed. It is going to be all the comedians are telling stories that revolve around being raised in Adelaide and growing up in South Australia. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a really good lineup, and I'm looking forward to getting home and being amongst all of it. I'll be hosting that one, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then on the 18th of June, I will be up in Brisbane. I will be performing at Good Chat Comedy, and I will be bringing the work in progress that I took to the Adelaide Fringe. I've got some new ideas. I've got some new things that I want to add. I've just had this wonderful tour with Rove McManus, and I'm pretty keen to get stuck into it. So that is on the 18th of June. And if you would like to come along to that, you can find details at Good Chat Comedy or my website at justinhamilton.com.au. And yes, if you want to sign up for the newsletter, you can do so via my website. It's right on the front page, and you'll hear from me fortnightly. It is full of suggestions of TV, movies, books that I've been reading. It will update you on tours. By signing up, you get access to cheap or free tickets to shows that I'm putting on, and also it's an opportunity to kind of be able to connect with you directly rather than having to rely on algorithms and pay social media platforms to hopefully put you in front of me. Do you know what I mean? It's like these things are designed to, you know, not work in your favor, and they ask you to pay money, and it still doesn't necessarily mean that you have any idea what's going on, or I have any idea what's going on with you. So the newsletter is a real opportunity to have direct contact with you, and it will only come out fortnightly. I promise I won't clog up your inbox too much. So the latest edition has a link to my YouTube page where we have a really funny interview that Rove and I did for regional television last week, and they kept in a lot of our jokes. We were not expecting that, and but we were rapt. We were really rapt that they kept a lot of the jokes in, so you can access that as well. Okay. Anything else? Oh, just in case you forget, if you enjoyed the conversation that Dave and I had about the Odyssey, you can read all my thoughts on it at the Substack blog that I put up last week. So head to Substack, Justin Hamilton Comedian, and it'll be the first one that you find listed. It's the latest one. And yes, it's me on my high, in brackets, Trojan horse. So that might be something that's in your wheelhouse. Okay, I'm going to get going, but I look forward to making contact with you making contact with you. What am I, an alien? I'm looking forward to seeing you and talking to you on Thursday. Enjoy the start of the week, and until then.